Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Myst 5 End of Ages. So we finished 2 out of the 4 locations, so let's hop into the 3rd location. Started to get some frustration, certainly whenever the game asked me to draw a circle on the tablet and then it couldn't recognize my poorly drawn circles. Looks like we've got a beach location. It's very pretty. Last location was outer space, so we've had outer space, beach, and then ice planet. You would kind of get a feeling that you might see more greenery, more life. Seems like there might be a least creature there, or it might be Eshu. Let's go and see. Might be somebody else, or it might even be a animal. It's hard to tell from this distance. I'm trying to remember if this game has 2 bad endings and 1 good ending, or just a bad and a good.
Welcome to my age. Nolaben. When Dukhni died, I fled here. From death to death. You will see the fingerprints of the creatures everywhere. This was their home, and they did not welcome me. To survive, I was forced to learn. You will learn here as well. It is not like the other ages.
Wow, just end on that. It's still considered an age, but you would think the creatures actually may have just evolved and lived here, although a single island doesn't make a lot of sense for that to work. I don't like that he threw the stone in the water and it didn't create a splash or even make a splash sound effect. Okay. Well, 3 circles and a line, I think, are symbols we had already done. I feel like another age already used those symbols, which does make me wonder if there is a small selection of symbols that it picks from, if it randomizes these symbols at all. Yeah, let's see if that works. That's almost certainly not going to work. Most of these symbols don't look like they are things you would actually write on the tablet. So we'll try that again. It looks like there's an egg, or this might even be the symbol for fire, to cook an egg, or incubate an egg. Alright. Try it again. And last time I had to flip my mouse over. I'm probably just going to leave it on the control surface as far as my mouse pad. That way I can move the mouse slower and try and make better drawings. But if anything, I think the game may be getting more difficult with the symbols, where arguably for a game like this and this experimental idea of technology, a slash and a direction probably should be the maximum. Looks like there's penguins over there. Hmm. Riven has a bunch of life in it as a game, and the animals in Riven play a big role in this puzzle. But I would say there's a high chance we won't have any kind of puzzle like that. Okay, I'm drawing it totally wrong. That explains it. It's a upward pyramid. Which, yeah. I don't think I can blame anybody but myself for that. What I do want to blame this game for, though, is how buggy it really is around switching to Classic Plus mode when I would prefer to just stay in Classic mode as far as the controls. And I would argue that if the game had one set of controls, they probably could have polished that a little bit better. This has to be a symbol or something, and I would assume this is a place where you can teleport yourself to. Problem with this, as far as pattern recognition, is you can draw anything at any size, any scale, slightly tilted by a few degrees, and a human eye will overlook those inconsistencies, but a video game will not. Oh, you know what? This is a puzzle, isn't it? Look at the curvature of the symbol that it's on, of the stone it's on. It's curved at the top and flat at the bottom. It's upside down. I need to draw it like this. Sneaky, to say the least. And so that was the Make It Rain symbol to collect water. You've got all these other symbols, and I don't think I'd even really want to bother to try and draw any of them. These look like symbols that would just be random depictions of other languages. If these are penguins, they're not moving. You can see a few birds flying around. I may solve this area fairly quickly, but I wouldn't put a lot of faith in that. So you have two ways of thinking on the ages, and it never really feels like they explained it well enough throughout the series. Either this age existed with the Barud, the least fly creatures, living there, and then somebody using the tablet and using the descriptive books and things made a linking book to this location, or somebody made a descriptive book to create this age. None of these creatures move. Interesting. Probably limitations on the amount of CPU, GPU processing power that you could have done when this game came out. You can see like 3 palm leaves swaying, and that's about all it can handle, and the waves moving back and forth. It feels like you would just be able to swim out to a region, but no, the game's not going to let me do that. It does seem like the goal will be to go to that. Of course, my concern here is that that might be a symbol that I'm supposed to be able to see from this distance. Which, yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Otherwise, this is a empty beach. I can't really go anywhere. Can't really go anywhere, can't do anything. Rain. Oh, you can just walk on the water. I guess they're making a weird exception here when every other Myst game would have told you absolutely no. And this looks like this opens a doorway to the tree, and the tree is seemingly part of the idea of the tablet and the magic. Although the tree doesn't really get explained, or the seed doesn't really get explained. Basically nothing ever gets explained. It does look like there is some kind of spotlight way up there. Let's start with this. Come on, put it down. And then let's walk this way. It is nice you can't just put down the tablet and lose it, because they'll eventually find it and put it back on the pedestal. That stops you from potentially having to wander around the whole game looking for wherever you left it. Although it would be much nicer if there was just a more technological solution to writing commands. It is really a step back from like Uru, where you had an electronic bracelet that stored different locations you had unlocked to let you reach other locations. And at a certain point, if I was going to make a game like Myst, I would probably say that books were the thing of the past and put it in a time frame in which they have just made all linking magic based off of some kind of electronic cell phone-like device. Okay. Well, I guess I have to draw each of these symbols, because I guess that's what we're doing. So, start with a number sign. It probably is more of a case that this is a counting system, where this would be like number 1, this might be number 2, this might be number 3, this might be number 4. But I'll see if this does anything. Otherwise, we have 4 teleportation spots and only 3 of them. It makes sense. Because there's only 3 spots here. Guess we can take a screenshot. We've woefully underused the idea of the screenshots and the camera because we just haven't needed it. And I forgot there was a whole other section on this side. Which, yeah. That's probably going to fix a lot of this. Right. So we have a bunch of holes. What looks like a rope to climb up. You'd think there would be something here, or that you would break this path so you could go around in full circle. What you would expect here, though, is that there would be hints of Eshu hunting the least, eating them, killing them for sport, for fun, out of some kind of psychotic bloodlust desire. Something that might reveal to you that Ishu, whatever his name is not to be trusted, but I mean, he just comes out and says he doesn't like the least, and it's no big surprise there. You have these pods. Are these supposed to be like the skulls of the least, or their shells? Or are these some shell of something else? It's not obvious enough to me to know. And I guess if you totally missed that rope, you would be in trouble. That's a little more action than we've seen in a lot of places. Right, so again, we're using the ladder gimmick as an excuse to put down the tablet, or to force the player to put down the tablet. This is very green, greener than I would have really expected. Feels like a interesting idea of a grassland. I wouldn't have minded if there was a big grassland section as one of the ages. That being said, there's really nothing happening in the grassland. It is showing off a lot of blades of grass for a 2005 game. That is impressive. But when you have a game that has no enemies, I saw a snake. I doubt the snake will bite you or kill you or anything. But yeah, when you have a game that has really no gameplay mechanics other than walking around, it's easy to focus on the visuals and over-focus on the visuals. Which is what I think I would call this, as yes, this is pretty, but it is shallow. Okay. So we're gonna spin these stones, which maybe spins this, which maybe lines up the lens. You have this deny Native American looking writing, which I don't think actually is deny or dunny. What dunny is what they pronounce it as. Alright. So I see a symbol here of 2 circles with a line in between. I see a circle here with a P and a B. This rock connects to the P and the B. So let's try that. We're hearing a rumbling, but nothing's moving. Some of these symbols we saw in the reflection. So it's probably a combination lock. If I was to guess. But possibly a combination lock that doesn't need specific solutions. So we would need a number sign, a circle with a number sign, 2 horizontal lines, and then a circle. Can we see anything like that? Well, 2 horizontal lines. Yes. It's the same symbol each time. 2 horizontal lines. That would work too. There is a whole mechanism here. And these are peepholes. Interesting. Is there a combination lock to opening these peepholes? Or is there maybe a trick where some peepholes have to be closed so you can see the other peepholes? This doesn't really come off as a building that would have been built by the least, though. And it would certainly be irritating if there's no way to teleport yourself inside this facility. We don't really have a telescope or anything to zoom in if there's something that's supposed to be written on the wall. That was one of the... So we've gone full circle, almost. Yeah, I'm not sure I fully comprehend what the puzzle here is supposed to be. Let's go back to what we were doing. We'll spin this. And I suspect something inside the building is spinning. That would be my guess. Although, it's hard to tell. This symbol here possibly can be copied. Man, this control mechanic though is still really rough. Okay, that symbol and that symbol match. You would think the grass puzzle here would lead to the idea of rocks leading triangle, to a different window, and that you would maybe have to walk around following the rocks or find some kind of maze solution. It's very, very easy to misclick. None of these combinations feel right. That the symbol I can see here is the circle symbol. And that makes sense. But I can't do the circle symbol here either. That didn't change anything. There's basically nothing else you can do here. I mean, that symbol. So, opening and closing those windows might be just a way of reminding yourself what symbol equates to what symbol. So, unless I'm misinterpreting this, which I very well may be, you're supposed to look through this, and then see this, and then know that that symbol equates to that symbol. And then you're supposed to put in that symbol. Which I'm probably going to have to go around in circles a couple times there. Like, this is wrong, so I shouldn't use this. That's, I think, wrong too. I think that's wrong. I think that might be right. Circle with a dot in it. You can't actually get the tablet up here, so that has made this area make more sense. But as far as we know, we could be actually moving something underground, and it's may just never know. I may have to use a walkthrough regardless. This would be too difficult to brute force. And it would be a little too simple if it was just empty circles for every one. You can hear how the audio is clipping itself off. Okay. I'm gonna have to probably walk back to that area, but maybe we can use this picture instead. Let me pull out my phone and use it as a camera to zoom in on the pictures, so I know the exact symbols I'm originally looking for before I have to translate them. Circle with a hashtag. 2 lines to the right of that. I don't even think the screenshot is actually high enough resolution. A circle with 2 lines to the right of that, and then a hashtag to the right of that. Okay. So, hashtag circle, hashtag 2 lines, circle with 2 lines. Okay. Two lines here. Leads to this, which leads to this symbol, which totally missed. Okay. You'd think there would be like a success sound effect at that point, because I'm fairly certain that was right. Hashtag. Hashtag should be on the exact opposite of that, and it's a circle with a line above it, which would be basically the power symbol. So I'm going to skip that one and go over here. The power symbol for turning something on and off is not particularly a well-designed symbol. It doesn't perhaps make as much sense as it should. The power symbol's not available there, though, so it must not be in the same orientation. There's also repetition here, which I don't know if maybe I'm supposed to just draw the same symbol in all 4 of them. There we've got the power symbol. Okay. Circle with the hashtag. is the triangle symbol now. So it could be that solution. Or it could be that solution. You would assume, since that's so close, that it would be this solution. Was that a sound effect of success? You would really hope it would lock into place after that. That there would have been a very visual revelation there. As far as a door opening up or something like that. Okay, well, let's go around one time. And then I think I'm probably just going to have to use a walkthrough. It's not particularly fair, but for the best outcome. But maybe it's a case where I got this one wrong. Maybe it's a case where I'm supposed to do this instead. What would be very helpful here is if there was a shining light through each window to point to a specific symbol on the other side, or if there was just only one symbol that you could see and it was much bigger. Alright. Well, looking at the walkthrough. Well, the walkthrough here helps quite a bit and tells me that those symbols do not change. Right. Alright, reading the walkthrough here. So, it seems to me that what I'm doing is correct. Although, weirdly, I think the walkthrough is just going to tell me what I'm doing is wrong. Like, you were supposed to be able to open a window, look at these two symbols, compare it to the symbols you saw before, and then use the symbol on this window, as I thought, to put in the combination lock. And yet, I dropped the ball somewhere at that. And instead of trying to figure it out myself, I'll just put in the right combination. Okay. which these symbols on the walls, I assume, are the same. It'd be weird if the symbols on the dome were random and everything else wasn't. So, this was the right solution after all. And honestly, you really should have heard some feedback there. Okay. Something to lock it into place and tell you you'd done it correctly. Even if it was just like a snake hissing at you as a subtle hint, I would appreciate that. Okay. I'm trying to figure out which way this walkthrough went. The other thought that you could easily have had here is you could have needed to mix the two symbols on the other side of the window together to make a new symbol, which, yeah, that would have been more complicated. Right, that's 2 with no feedback. They really are stretching for time. And yeah, there's a lot of games even today that try to waste the player's time as much as possible, but compared to this game in 2005, at the very least, when you're talking about a game as a service like Destiny or something that's very grindy like World of Warcraft, there's still way more content in it than what we're seeing here. This is laughably empty. You're spending 80% of your time just wandering around. Right, so this must be the wrong pedestal. So we'll just put them in out of order. Was the power symbol. So we did get one of them correct, but we got the other ones totally wrong. Okay, well, that should have been the solution. And unless I need to go back and close all the windows that are not being involved, I would have thought there would have been some audio feedback of having them all in the right place. I'm gonna have to read the walkthrough some more, just to be certain. Seems like there's more to it. Wow. There's apparently this was in the demo and it was supposed to be particularly complicated, and that maybe these shadows down here might be an alternate solution. But the side closest to the sun unless this is randomized, is supposed to be the 6 dots. Okay. There is a small possibility that there's a power symbol on the other side of this, or even a power symbol on this one, because they're repeated symbols. For a second there, I thought I just stumbled on the solution, but no, I just clicked too fast. Maybe there's a power symbol on this one. There should be some kind of feedback here. Well, we could swap these 2 symbols. So what am I messing up here? Okay, we'll step through this case by case. You can be 100% sure of the placement of the circle / line and 3 horizontal line runes, but the other 2 pedestals will both have the remaining 2 runes. Still, there's only 2 ways you can configure these pedestals with the remaining runes, so it's a bit of guesswork, won't necessarily kill you. Okay. See, I was just following the screenshots. And I hate how much I'm going quiet here as I'm reading a walkthrough, but I also would hate to waste a ton of time reading, just brute forcing this puzzle. Okay. Looking at the screenshot, that is correct. Assuming the screenshots are correct and it's not randomized. Let's see. That seems to be correct too. That seems to be correct also. Which would imply that that's correct also. Well, I think the problem here is just not getting feedback. I need to now find the ladder to climb back down, which could be on any of these edges, and then get into the cave that is in the center spot. This is described as a laboratory, and I'm not really sure what kind of research you would assume Eshu is doing here. Now, there is some weirdness where it felt like you needed a special kind of ink to make descriptive books, if not a special type of paper and leather and things like that, where without the need for anything magical, it seems like you could just always make descriptive books. And so it needs some kind of limitation. Now we're getting the idea of the limitation that you need the tablet to create ages. Although I don't think you actually need the tablet to create ages. You may just be way more powerful. Right. So, of the symbols that we ended up using, it was this one, and this one, and what else did we use? Maybe this one. So there might have been an alternate solution. I don't know exactly how you get the shadow to show up to tell you this one, this one. The water's all gone. Maybe you need it to be raining. So theoretically, there should be a ladder in the middle of this section. And should I care about a snake in any way? No, not really. I'm not seeing a ladder because I don't think I solved the puzzle. That would make a lot of sense. I think maybe the puzzle is randomized. Okay. Let me just double check the walkthrough and make sure that's what it's saying. There must be another cave. The game wants me to grab the tablet. Where is the tablet? This is the one thing that's not supposed to happen, is you're not supposed to lose the tablet. It's right there. Yet I'm clicking on it and it's not letting me pick it up. The tablet is there. It's just not letting me click on it. So it's just load back in. Seems like it's a glitch to me. Okay, maybe the tablet isn't there. Where would I have put the tablet? Would have been standing here. Ah, there it is. So it never got picked up. So the walkthrough says there is a cave there. I see it. How do we walk to it? There it is. So a tiny little thin cave, and this us rotating the parts opened up the passageway, and that's the only feedback you're going to get, that you put in the right solution. And then I guess if you had to run back up and down the ladder multiple times, you would perhaps be able to brute force it a little bit easier to get all the way through. But arguably there should be maybe 1 or 2, 3 at the most dials for something like that. Let me ask this, if I just put the tablet here, is that good enough to lock in the picture? No. Right, well, is that what we're supposed to be drawing? No. Try that again. Is that what we're supposed to be drawing? Yes. So we've got a fast travel section, although this is just taking longer and longer now. Maybe if we come over here and put the tablet down, we can walk over there, get far enough away. Okay, we'll take a couple steps down this direction. See if that's far enough away. He's just everywhere. He's almost like he should be a ghost or a devil.
You have unlocked my lab. Impressive. It is safe here. They are afraid. They will not come here. The snake binds them, prevents them from linking. I take no pleasure in what they have endured here. But I had to learn. Did you know that you aid the creatures, the Bahro, as you move the slates? Did Yusha tell you that? Did you know that the full power of the Bahro is restrained by the tablet? Did Yusha tell you that? Did you know that they will not come near anything with the symbol of the snake? Did you know that the tablet that Yusha told you not to give her controls them? Did she tell you that? I have learned. They are terrifying creatures if not controlled. Go to the top of my refuge, up there. Seal this refuge. And you can climb.
So, I guess that's why they're not picking up the tablet. Is that they're afraid. It would make some sense if they did do something to make you really believe. Interesting. So I didn't have to drop the tablet to get them to go there. I just had to click on the pedestal. But then that makes me wonder, would I save the symbol that way? Doesn't seem like I would. Yeah, all I've seen of these Baro is that they seem to be very cautious and afraid of humans. I haven't seen them attack any other creatures or do anything. It would make me think they're anywhere as evil as Eshu wants you to believe. Yeah, every time we do this, the game is stretching out its whole experience even longer. Like, kind of wasting your time. Interesting. They did actively refuse to go to inside the lab and instead put it back on the pedestal. I don't know yet. I don't understand though. That seemed like that worked, and yet we still didn't end up with the symbol. Yeah. I don't see where the symbol of the snake is, though, that would be scaring them. Seems like they're just in general afraid of the dome because of all the symbols on the outside of the dome. Alright, well, this is as good of a point as any to end this episode. I could easily spend another 20 minutes trying to solve the rest of this age, but almost certainly I would just end up using the walkthrough for the rest of the solution anyways. I may very well just increasingly lean on the walkthrough more and more anyways, just to wrap up this series. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.